Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Again, we're all over social media. Connect with us. We have new segments. We're very excited. Don't forget, later on the show, we welcome Prentice Penny, who is the showrunner for HBO's Insecure. Great interview there. And then Trent Johnson, Jr., MD, who went viral after the video that his family threw of a graduation ceremony from at the house. He's been all over everywhere, and he joined us. So stay tuned for those interviews. All right, so, this VERZUZ thing has been lit. People are loving it. It was Erica, Jill, Teddy Riley, Babyface. Well, this weekend it was
Nelly
and Ludacris. And yes, there were a few technical difficulties. Apparently, there was a storm where Nelly lives, and it caused the signal to go in and out with his Wi-Fi. But they played hits like Nelly's Dilemma, Hot in There, My Place, Air Force Ones, and then Luda played Stand Up, Move, and What's Your Fantasy, among many others. Overall, it was a great show despite the technical difficulties. Now, we're going to discuss that, but also Brandy was asked recently again about her verses with Monica, and she said that Monica does not want to do it. So, Ms. Parker, I know that you had commented on the Nelly versus Luda, and I know you have thoughts about Brandy versus Monica. So go ahead, take it away.
Yes, I'm looking forward to. I hate the fact that it's like we said, versus.
Yeah.
But this music that I grew up with and have a lot of memories, great memories too, and so I was looking forward to it. But my patience is just after the Teddy Riley and Babyface. I think you got about 5-10 minutes to get started before you lose me. With Jill Scott and Erica, which is funny because they got started pretty quickly. Everything was smooth with their technology, but I saw people on Facebook saying, "Oh, it's two women." Of course, a lot of talking. Nelly and Ludacris, when it was
they
working,
talked the whole time. Yeah.
They talked the whole time, tooted each other horn. Okay, we know you guys are friends. Play the music. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to people, yeah, man, you did the best. You did that. Yeah, man. Okay, sir. We get it. Let's go. So I didn't really, I wasn't really feeling it because, and then Nelly would start dancing. He'll get stuck doing
he was sweating hard too.
Whatever.
He was sweating hard too when the internet went out.
Right. With his internet. But I think these are things that need to be tested. And I think that it should be okay to reschedule. If there was a storm, he should have probably tested it maybe 30 minutes before and see if his live was working. I don't know how you just, and then he had a thing of chicken when he first started, almost like he just rolled out of bed, put on his jersey and was like, okay, I'm ready. That needs to be kind of, taken seriously because they're getting a lot of streaming income from doing this,
Yeah.
Their music is being streamed a lot more once they have one of these battles or versus. So I think it needs to be taken a little bit more seriously. And I think Erica, so far my favorite has been Erica and Jill. I vibed to the entire time. I was like, did not want to go off. And then I enjoyed Babyface and Teddy once they got right the second or third time they got it going. I really enjoyed that as well. I enjoy even in between when Babyface would lose Teddy, he would play something on his guitar. And it was just like straight up just a musical genius, just showing his talent. And then at one point, Teddy was waiting for Babyface to join. He played some of his records alone. So I think that maybe VERZUZ should think about going that avenue as well, where maybe just having an artist come on and do like a live thing, play their music, play some live music in and out, and give us a concert live. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, for years, no one knew they had collaborated together. Apparently, they did collaborate on a song called Money Maker, but it never,
Who?
Nelly and Ludacris.
I know that they're friends in real life, so.
Yeah, but that version never saw the light of day. But they did play it on the VERZUZ. Chike, did you watch? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I talk about Brandy and Monica?
Oh, yeah.
I think that they should do it separately. I think I understand where Monica is coming from. She's in a space right now where she has a lot going on in her life. She does not need any. I think she's afraid of the negative energy that comes with that battle situation. Her whole career has been Brandy versus Monica, Monica versus Brandy. She doesn't want to be in that space of battling somebody. So
but I think Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I think they should just give them a platform to just do their music each.
But I think you have to understand that people want to see Brandy and Monica together. And I'm not saying she has to do it, but they want to see them together. And so far, we have not seen any artists put against each other in the verses that we've seen. We've seen it celebrated. We've seen how it has brought both artists new revenue with the sales of their singles going up. And so I kind of wish Monica would do it, because I don't think we haven't seen a bad example of this other than technical difficulties.
But they've had history of being put against each other. So I'm saying, so I'm thinking that's where I'm not saying
I get what you mean.
But that's where I think that's where her decision right now stands from that experience, because that experience, you never know how that impacted her.
Exactly. That's true. What you thought, Shika?
So I didn't see the verses. I was too busy birthdaying. So yeah, but this is what I because I did watch the Jill and Erica. This is what I want out of verses. I have the music already. I've heard the music 1,000 times. I've heard you do it live. If you did it live again, that would be great. But what I'm more interested in is the dialogue. I want to hear. Tell me a story that's connected to the song that we may not know about. Tell me about that time when you went into the studio and you probably weren't in the best of moods and you made this miraculous piece of art based off of your emotions. Tell me about how somebody else was supposed to maybe help you on this song that didn't get an opportunity to, but you would like to record it with that person finally. You know, stuff like that, like behind the scenes. I think that's more precious.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know, now we have Sean Stockman on from Boys and Men next week, and I had asked him in the interview, who does he think Boys and Men should go up against in the verses? And he said, based on the qualifications of Swiss Beats and Timbaland, that they don't qualify. And he said, because you're supposed to have at least 20 hits. And I told him that I think that for fans, they're not thinking about hits. They're thinking about the singles that didn't make, that, you know, that weren't the songs that weren't singles or things like that. What are your thoughts on the verses? And do you think that you have to have 20 hits to qualify?
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think you have to have 20 hits, according to what they're talking about. The Billboard hits is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And I find that hard to believe that they don't have 20 of those.
He said we have a good, strong 10.
Right. I totally agree with Chike, and I totally agree with what Michelle said, Ms. Parker. I loved the fact that Jill Scott was sharing stories behind the songs. Yeah. I love the fact that Babyface was sharing stories behind the songs. I love that part of it as a storytelling series. And I also enjoy the fact that Nelly got drunk and high by accident. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy. I don't
know if it was by accident.
Yeah, he playing that, right? I actually enjoy seeing these people in real time without the polish. It brings a sense of realness to it all for me, you know? They're artists, they're entertainers, they make a lot of money, they have a lot of popularity, but at the same time, you know, we all do a lot of things very similarly, and that kind of creates this unique space. That's what I love about it. I love that it's not polished. They are having technical difficulties. You know, it's funny, but it's real. They money don't get them any closer to perfection in that regard than ours does.
You can't take care of a storm. You can't deal with a storm. It is what it is. Yeah.
And if you got bad internet in your basement, it's gonna be bad internet in the basement. Right. So I just thought that was so. I love that. I do agree with you too. Although we had that discourse and dialogue around the term and battle and how we can put it together in different ways, I haven't seen any bad examples yet. Doesn't mean it won't happen later. It doesn't mean they won't do it later, chop it up later, but it's been cool. It's been feel good. And there's been a lot of good, and especially when it comes to these Black artists being able to make money.
Exactly.
Because they don't make no money anyway from their master work, you know, but they getting a couple dollars, you know, from these streams that they're getting. So I think it's cool. I enjoy it. Yeah. And the Boyz II Men thing, it would be great, but without even knowing about that 20 hit thing, I don't know nobody who would compare at that time that they was doing. It's not gonna be Drew Hill. It's not gonna be Jodeci. It's not gonna be 112. They were a classier, a bigger.
I think
they were a different.
They are different. I think Jagged Edge could, or 112. It's a different. It is a different. I know what you're saying. Boyz II Men's like up here in terms of the polishness of it all, but hit for hit, I think they could do it.
Like Color Me Bad, Shy. they were kind of even classy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they could do it either. But I mean, Boyz II Men, man, they cement it to me.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
We have a couple more hot topics. We have more, but we don't have enough time, so we'll just do two more. So Boosie is under fire or catching fire from his backlash, from his parenting skills. So a video resurfaced of him pretty much praising the fact that he, with his sons, how he's raising his sons. He said that with his 12 or 13-year-old son and nephews, he hired a woman to give them oral sex pretty much. And he said that he's raising them right. He's getting them off to a good start. Not only did this woman, in a longer video that surfaced, not only is the woman who's super grown, as he says, only performed on his nephews and his son, also hooked him up as well. And so now a producer, Kirk Moore, said, no grown man who openly admits to allowing his sons and nephews to have sex with a grown woman should be allowed around children. All this rite of passage talk is BS, and Boosie is ruining the lives of Black children. Bottom line, he should not be near a child. What are your thoughts, Ms. Park?
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I know that it went viral a couple of years ago that he hired strippers for his 12-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. He doesn't know how men being exposed to sex at an early age in this type of way is so damaging, not just to how they're going to have to spend their adult life healing from it, but to the women that they're going to be dealing with in their adult lives and how damaging that relationship can be. Let kids be kids as far as it comes to sexual experiences. Let them go through, the process as we all did, trying to figure it out, and some sooner than others, but let them do it as kids and not it's something being set up by their fathers. I think he should be arrested. I think the person that he hired should be arrested. And I think is he admitting to, having his kids molested. Yeah. And if a guy has said that about a man, a grown man having sex with his 12 and 13-year-old woman, kids,
he'd be under
that
jail.
would have been knocking the door before the video even hit the internet. Yeah. So I think that's a double standard. I think that people think that men are not damaged by sexual assault and that sexual abuse doesn't affect them, but it does. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Chica.
I feel the same exact way as Ms. Parker. A lot of people with issues around sex, those issues go back to your beginning sexual experiences. And if that portion of your life is not handled delicately with care, that is an issue that you could have throughout the rest of your life. And that can also affect other people if it's not healthy. So yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah.
Let children discover their own sexuality.
Exactly.
Give them education, but let them discover their own sexuality.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a way to do it. There's some education that probably should be. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. I think I was exposed to sex too early, and I was exposed to sex the wrong way. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I didn't have any molestation or abuse or anything that I would identify, but I definitely was exposed to sex too early and probably not the right way. It could have been a lot better, I'm sure. So I know the problems that can cause for people and the damage that can cause, especially like Ms. Parker said, in relationships. If I had a daughter coming up right now, I would be, and I was a celebrity, and I knew that she could be in the mix with Boosie's children, I'd say stay away from them. For sure, stay away from them boys. Them boys they got a long road ahead. So he's setting his sons up. He don't even realize it. He's setting his sons up. He's setting other potential daughters up.
Yeah, and then the thing is, because he a 12 or 13-year-old with a grown woman. So what's going to be his expectation when he hits his late teens or early 20s and he starts having sex with his peers? He's going to have this grown woman as his barometer of how it's supposed to be, and I don't think that's fair. That's not fair. So,
and the fact that he probably
I can even take it a step further, Stephen. That I'm sure they know that their father hired this woman to be with them.
Right.
So what does that tell you about their value of women and how they're going to look at sex and women and money? How's that going to look in your grown life?
I agree. I totally agree. All All right, so our last topic, real quick. So Alexis Skyy is no stranger confronting those who attempt to shade her, and her most recent clapback has brought up a very interesting debate about the dating habits of men and women. Now, posted on her Instagram stories, Alexis had a straightforward yet raunchy message for men judging women by how many men they date. At this point, Alexis Skyy is a veteran when it comes to tackling internet drama head on, as you can likely find her in the middle of the new issue on a regular basis. Now, likely inspired by the recent back and forth between Future and Tekashi, 6ix9ine baby mama Sarah Maloney. Now, Alexis Skyy posted a message to her Instagram stories that instantly sparked an intense debate. This is what she posted. She said, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but women supposed to turn felons, cheaters, community dick, and liars into kings. Okay, the irony. Now, her post immediately began to circulate on social media with both women and men offering their take on her observation. Meanwhile, Alexa recently spoke out about how she deals with internet trolls and say it's disgusting how they treat her daughter, who especially has special needs. She said, I don't really let the internet get to me. She was saying how I'm trying to not read the whole thing. She was saying that it did bother her at first when they would talk about her child with special needs or anything about her as it relates to that. But she said that she's learned how to deal with it, and she realizes those people have bigger issues if they want to go there. But as we all know, the internet trolls will continue this type of behavior, regardless of her words. So, Ms. Parker, what do you think about her saying the double standard between you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but you can turn felons. You're supposed to turn felons and, people who men out there doing whatever into kings.
Honestly, I think people are really just bored because that meme that she posted has circulated probably the last 5 years. So I think it went viral because it came from her, her perspective. But I think that it's a reflection of who she is and where she is and the type of lifestyle that she's living. If you're dealing with drug dealers and pimps, and that's what you're turned into a king and trying to turn into a husband, that's just a reflection of who she is and where she is right now in her life. I'm not judging her, but I can't relate. So I don't have a lot of feedback on that because it all depends on where you are as far as dating is a reflection of who you are and who you're presenting yourself as. Yeah. And so that's in her environment, in her space, those are her options. And so I'm sure I can see how challenging that could be to turn into a husband, but it's a reflection of her lifestyle that I can't add too much to. But all I can say is that it's just a reflection of where she is, and she doesn't speak for women in general. I get the idea of what she's saying, but it's just a reflection of her experience in her current space.
Do you think there is a double standard when it comes to women dating multiple men versus a man dating multiple women?
I think women make it a double standard for themselves because I think that we are people who, women by nature, and I can speak from experience, when we meet someone we like, we tend to focus only on that person. Mm-hmm. And that's not truly dating. That's not what dating is. Dating is having your options and dating multiple people and going out multiple people and spending time and experiencing different things with different people. That's men, I think, are the true version of what dating is. I think women have expectations that once they like somebody, that they're going to like them right away and like them back, and then they're going to cut everybody else off as we do, which is not what dating is, and that's not what most men do. I just think women are not really capable of dating multiple men as men are capable of dating multiple.
Some are.
I didn't say all of them. But I think most women, when you meet someone you like, it's kind of challenging to take your attention off that person to go out with somebody else because it's more of an annoyance. You know what I mean? You like somebody a lot, and then you're going out with somebody else, and you're like, you really want to be with the person that you really like. And so we don't truly date. And I remember a guy friend said that to me. He was like, until women start seeing their options for dating and truly dating, they're always going to experience this chasing of one guy that they like and another woman may like because they're not leaving their options open and really dating as dating should be. So there is a double standard, but I think women play a bit into it as well because we're more emotional and a little bit more attached.
That makes sense. Chike.
So my mom always said this to me. She drilled it in my head. Consider the source. So when you consider the source, and if you look at this particular situation of the perspective in her universe, that is her reality. And basically she's speaking from her reality. I can't put my values on her reality because that's not my life. And I say that to any other woman or any other person that has an opinion about what she says, what her beliefs are, and what she does. She's doing things according to what's in her universe.
Yeah.
This is how I don't judge people. I can't attach myself to that. It's not my reality. I really honestly don't have an opinion. If that's how she feels, that's how she feels.
Nair?
Yeah. I posted a post very, very similar to that on my Instagram page, and it caused for that type of attention. I think she was just, that came from a special place, and especially a personal place for her. It ain't too much to say to that. That if that's your reality and that's what you feel you've been doing, turning toes into princes and all that,
right?
Let that be the case. And but maybe that's your job anyway. Who knows? Maybe you are supposed to turn a drug dealer into a king, or a community dig into a king, or a felon into a king. Maybe you are. Maybe that's your task. I don't know. But that sounded more of a personal thing, and anybody who felt a certain way, they probably can relate.
Yeah. I think obviously, I think it does spark an interesting conversation. But again, if someone's always in the middle of drama, sometimes you can't point the fingers at everybody else. You got to point at yourself. So, but listen, we're having these conversations. I think that's important. But listen, Miss Parker, look forward to your this week's Mental Health Monday. Check out, see your movie reviews, and Nair, as always, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
Right back after this, y'all. Good night.